Hello friends, welcome to Web Dev Wednesday. Our web dev connection is a little bit off. Oh, my camera's awful. Let's shrink me down a bit. It sort of works. I haven't worked out the settings yet. New job, new equipment, but I haven't mastered the secrets yet. But yeah, so welcome to this stream. We are going to be learning, as you can see here, MongoDB stuff. It's going to be super exciting. So as you know, or may not know, I started a job with MongoDB 3 weeks ago, and so far it's been amazing. Ugh, autofocus is the worst. Let me see what we can do. I'll do. Welcome to one of my mods. Very special person. But yeah, let's fiddle with my stupid camera. Back to webcam. Goes. Hey, there we go. See, they're even here. But yeah, let me just see if we can. Hey, Robin Generic Channel. I love that my employers are here. But yeah, ignore the camera. It's just having a bad day. I'm going to shrink it a little bit, I think, because. Hey, Jay Walter. Yeah, we don't need me to be as massive. It's about the content. It's about the knowledge, not my face. Okay. There we go. But yes, maybe it's a bit too small. But anyway, that's fine. You can let me know. But the point is that we are here to learn. So I am doing this from my Windows-based personal computer, my streaming machine, because I want a very honest, transparent experience. You know, anything Mongo related I've done so far, I have done from my work Mac. So we're going to do this, thanks. Here we go. So we've got Shaney Mac, we've got Kooky Cardo. If I'm saying anyone's names wrong, I'm very sorry. But yes, we're going to come learn some Realm. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm doing this very transparently. I think I might have done a little bit of MongoDB University when I was waiting to start my job. But other than that, I've not got the tooling or anything on my machine. So we're very much going to have this is what you'd experience if you did the same thing. You know, I don't have any employee perks by being on my work laptop with any preparation. This is just very transparently what you'd experience. Hey, Coding Garden fan. How is everyone on this lovely Wednesday? It's, according to my IoT device on the desk, it's 89 degrees Fahrenheit or 31.8 degrees Celsius in here. So not as warm as Monday, but still a little toasty. But that's right, we're going to distract ourselves from the heat with learning and fun. So if we zoom in on here, we are going to follow this task tracker app, because the idea is you can learn Realm, and I'll share the link to this tutorial in chat for anyone that fancies following along or wants to learn later. So we're going to have to register. People can register themselves, sign into their account, list of projects, create, modify, and delete tasks, see team members, add and remove team members. So loads of really cool stuff, which, you know, yeah, you might not necessarily need a task tracker app yourself. But actually, when you think about it, the ability to see all these different features, you can translate into how to do that for so many different scenarios. And it's just proof why Mongo is a great product. And like, yes, all right, I work for the company, but honestly, I'd heard of MongoDB, but barely used the tools before I started. Before I got the job and before I started, and it's only been 3 weeks on the job, so this is very much I'm paid by the company, but it's a very honest experience, and yeah, I just think it's great. So the first thing to do is set up the back end, which I've not even done. As I said, we're going to do it together. So before we can implement the SDK functionality, we need to create a back end. So this Realm app will serve the SDK requests like authentication and Realm Sync. So Realm Sync is kind of, you imagine mobiles and stuff, they move around, because Realm's intended to be aimed at mobiles, for example. So you imagine that Realm or mobile phones move around a lot. Signal comes and goes. You don't want to have to handle all the code yourself in your app. That's like, oh, well, you know, if the phone is offline, we'll, you know, cache some data so that we can get get the app will still work, or if you're online, get the latest. Like, you know, that's just a lot of effort. So Realm takes care of all that for you thanks to Realm Sync. So that's awesome. So we can make it, so to make this easier and faster, we've already prepared a backend. Nice. Complete with the functions, triggers, a schema, and the Realm Sync configuration you'll need to connect with one of our front-end tutorial apps. So that's another sweet thing, is the fact that we can later on, as you'll see, and you might have seen on the previous page that we'll go back to, we can pick what front end we want to use. So, you know, if we get through the back end part, I'm hoping to do Xamarin this evening, but there's nothing stopping us doing it in a different language. Or not actually language, but different framework or what have you, because we might still stick with C# but do something like a ASP.NET Core app. So that's pretty cool. So to use our pre-made app, we've got some prerequisites. So we've got to create an Atlas account. I've got one of those. Create a free Atlas cluster running MongoDB 4.4. We can do that. Hey, Lola's here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's learn together. I love learning. Learning is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. We're going to install the Realm CLI. Cool. Add a programmatic API key to our project and use it to log into the Realm CLI. Cool. And then use it to create a new task tracker backend. And what I really like about this tutorial as well is that it gives you times, estimated times of completion. So it reckons that in 5, 10, 15, 18, 23. So we go in under 25 minutes. It reckons that we're going to have this done. So allowing time for chat and learning together. 30 minutes. We should have a back end. Hey friends, Mod Steve. So nice to see so many friends here. So first step first is to create an Atlas account. Now, I'm not going to lie. I already have one of these. I have two, in fact. But we're going to use my work one because it's just easier. So we have an account, log in now. I don't know what's going on with those shadows on the text. But right, log in now. There we go. We're going to log in with work. No, that's not right. It would help if I... not even the right password, so that's always a good start. Because this is, yeah, that's old. I reset that. That's okay. Yeah, username. I think it's a good job, really. I would have doxed myself if that was actually a legit password, but it's not. That's old. I cycle my passwords to something completely different, like every week, because that's good thing to do. So let's do that. There we go. That should be the new one. Yeah, there we go. So now I can do 2FA. Yes, it's me. So there we go. Beautiful. 2FA done. So if we come to here, so I have a sandbox cluster under my own account that I created to do learning stuff. That's okay. If we have a look, so we've done that. So I've got an account. We can create a free cluster. So I've not done anything with this, so we can reuse this sandbox. That's not a problem unless it wants me to rename it. So we need it running 4.4 height. Yep, that's okay. Mine is running 4.4.6. Woohoo! Greetings, salutations, important person. I was like, why do I have a "can I help you" floaty thing coming up my head? But that's because it's on the page. Welcome in, welcome in. So we've already got. You know what? We're just gonna remove this. We're gonna terminate it. Yes, yes, yes. Sandbox. No. Yeah, alright. You know what? We're going to use my other account after all that. But this one's useful because I'm helping with a hackathon in a few weeks. And so I've been testing the workshop out that will take users through at the hackathon. And so, oh yeah, I made a cluster, didn't I? But I didn't actually do anything with it. This is when I was trying to do this the other week, and then I was like, oh, I don't know, but as you can see, it's not got any like link rel map or anything. Like, I've not done anything with it. So we've created our cluster. We can reuse this because eventually I want to. The idea is to go through this task tracker, and then eventually we will. Joe, let's make a new project. Why not? We'll call it. Name the project. It's going to be task tracker. Next. That's the one. So the reason why I'm creating a new project for this is that we are using a free cluster because that's what the tutorial says to do. So yeah, you know, you can pick free, but you can only have one free cluster per project. So that's why we create a new project. So it says to do AWS North Virginia cluster 0, okay? So AWS North Virginia, we're going to call it, it's going to be M0, that's the free tier, versions 4.4 or later, and then it's cluster 0, okay? Click cluster button, okay? It's just easier to keep names the same, isn't it, when you're following tutorials? Otherwise you copy and paste code and have to edit a load of things, and that's a load of grief. We don't like extra work here. So that's going to go off and create the cluster. It does take a few minutes to do, but that's okay. It'll finish eventually. So while we wait for that, we can have a look at what we can do afterwards. So there you go. So we can do native iOS with Swift, native Android with Kotlin. My personal favourite, Xamarin iOS and Android with C#. React, and then you can also do React Native with JavaScript in the browser with JavaScript, React, and GraphQL. Neat. Or from command line. Oh, neat. And then you've got an additional ones like write a GitHub issue tracker. I like it. Yes, it's all going for a drink at the Welcome Inn. For those that you don't know why we keep welcoming each other in, a few weeks ago, the wonderful Sociable Steve, who if you don't follow him already, you totally should. He was streaming, but he was so busy being amazing and writing great code that he forgot who he'd already greeted, so he kept saying welcome in to people he'd already greeted. So now it's an affectionate running joke that we just welcome in everybody. I mean, you should welcome everyone anyway, but we just welcome people repeatedly because why not? Everyone's welcome here. How's our cluster doing? Oh, no, still thinking about it. So while we wait for our cluster to load, what's everyone's wins of the week been so far? We're on Wednesday, so we can do Wednesday wins. It can have happened before Wednesday, but we like a good Wednesday win. Exactly. Welcome in White Panther and Dr. Dynamite. Social Steve, White Panther and Dr. Dynamite are some of the best mods you can ask for. I'm very lucky that my chat's normally pretty well behaved. But still, you know, it's nice to have mods to know that stuff gets handled. Yeah. Oh, let's go have a look. Let's start music as well, by the way. We're failing at this. Let's get some music going, and then let's also have a look at White Panther's website. Is that done yet? No. Okay. So if we go to whitepanther.com, woohoo! And we're going to shamelessly plug because we like supporting our friends here. But yes, so if you go to users, is it any users? Maybe not. I thought it was. Blog. Oh, there we go. It's in search articles. So yeah, so White Panther does an awesome blog, awesome streams. There you go. Sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. But, yeah. White Panther's awesome with all these cool, you know, hover colours, and you can know what... I don't quite know why Discord and YouTube are different colours. an RSS a different colour. I don't know, weird things have been going on lately, so I'm wondering if... awesome merch too, yes. I don't even know if Dart Reader's on or not. Dart Reader's current state is light, so it shouldn't touch anything. Yeah, I've been noticing weird things as well. Like if I go to Google, Google looks weird, but Light Reader's on. What is happening? What is this? But yes, if we go to blog, you can now search blog posts, and there's even suggested searches. So we're going to do Next.js. And there we go. When you search Next.js, you now get all articles relating to Next.js. Sweet. And it doesn't just search tags by the looks of it. That's neat. What else can we search? Look at that. I don't know why this results... Is this what happens when you get no results? Because I don't know what I've got to do with your 4 pages of articles. Just to search. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, let's find out. Let's see if that theory is correct. Nope, not Windows button. We're on Windows loose, not Mac. Nope. Who knows? But yeah, that's super cool that you can now search because, well, quite frankly, White Panther writes loads of epic articles on the internet that are worth reading. And so, having search is always helpful because, yeah, like it says here, you know, build stuff, learn things, write about it, love what you do, you know, all of the above. I don't know what's going on with my browser, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't have any fancy themes. Hey, Halifax. Do you want me to try a different browser? Will that make you feel better? There you go. Let's try Firefox and see if that looks any better. Is that better? Is that what it wanted? I mean, it's light theme, so maybe not, but I don't know what's going on with Edge. Okay, let's try that again. Right, we're gonna try out the searching again, but in a browser that makes my mod happy, because happy mod, happy me. Twitch streaming. Okay, so you can't do enter, that deletes it. So it does search as you go. There you go. So you've got your live coding set up in OBS. Nice! Well, you see, you'd think so. What did I set it to? Settings, appearance, system default, but like, I just thought dark would do. I don't know what it's doing to the appearance of the page. No idea. But there you go, it looks better in Firefox. All is well with the world. Is our cluster done? There we go, our cluster's done. Woo! You can see here that there's logical size of 0 bytes and stuff, because there's no data in this right now. But there we go, we've had some fun shouting out an amazing blogger, streamer and YouTuber. White Panther, feel free to shamelessly plug your YouTube channel because there's some amazing content on there. Way! Oh, I need to turn my overlay back on. Ooh. I need to ditch the box, but it's how we get alerts. Thanks for the raid! Okay, I'm just going to quickly fix that, hide that box. Please subscribe and smash buttons! Yeah! Let's just quickly go to streamelements.com. So I'm just going to quickly... I like having alerts in the text box, but I don't approve of the chat box. I don't need now that I'm experimenting with a green screen. Paid for by my lovely employer, because the idea is we're going to make epic content together. My overlays. Blue solo. Edit. We're going to webcam frame. Hide it. Save. And if we go back to OBS. There we go. Woohoo! Oh, I need to move myself up a bit. That would help. There we go. Welcome in, friends. Welcome in. Yes, there we go. I've sorted it now. Luma key video filter. Okay, let's try it. Oh, sweet. Hey, I've fixed it now. But thank you for the raid, friend. Always appreciated. How does stream go? So, studio mode. Virtual webcam. Filters. Effect filter. Luma key. Okay. Nope. 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 Alright, we'll worry about that later. As it's not on my side. I apologise for the dodgy green screening. I'm just learning as I go. And oh, that's interesting. Finite singularity. Chroma key, the custom colour. You sample the lightest and darkest green, then take the mean value between the two and use that for your custom chroma key. Nice! Well, that's something that I'll do off stream then. Where's my, Come on. Does this? Come on. We've got squishy. That's there. Let's just make full screen. No, that's what I meant to do. Honestly, just streaming, friends. It's a fun and a half. What is going on? There we go. Weird. Anyway, yes. So we've got our cluster. Okay, so now we've got our cluster. Yeah, so I've got two hey Max, by the way. I've got two key lights either side of me, like key light airs, but I have the problem that I can't really live tweak the light while I'm streaming, because in order to not drop a bunch of frames I have to tether my phone, so it doesn't see the lights while I'm live. So yeah, to be honest, if anyone in the team has experience with like the lighting and the green screen stuff, like, yeah, I'm well up for someone having a call with me to help me make it better, because yeah, I've got the lights on, but I don't know what the settings should be. So yeah, whoever, whether it's my internet family, work family, or whoever, yeah, I know that sometimes we talk about like no backseating and stuff on stream, but like genuinely, I have all this equipment and I have no idea what I'm doing, so all help is greatly received. Thanks, Max. You're the best. This is why I love my job, see? Like, I get to work with amazing people doing really cool stuff that makes me happy every day. And what more can you ask for from life, really, than getting paid to just have an amazing time at work every day? Okay, so we've got to install the Realm CLI. So we've got the cluster, which is like our data source, but now we need to actually have the app. So in most cases you'd use the Realm UI, but which you can access through the Atlas UI, which is what this is. As you can see here, you've got a realm app, realm UI. Charts is amazing as well. Like literally out of the box, you can so easily configure a load of cool charts based on your data. I know, it's the best. But yeah, that's something else I want to try at some point. But yeah, you've also got the realm UI. But the whole point of this is that we won't have access to the realm UI. So we're going to do it with the CLI. So we're going to get our trusty CLI up. We're going to run that command. So that's just saying install MongoDB realm CLI at this version as a global NPM tool. So basically, it doesn't matter what project we're in. We can always run the CLI. So let's go ahead and download that stuff. Yep, exactly, Mike. I couldn't have put it better myself. Being paid to hang out with cool people that are smart, so you get to be smarter too. Yeah. I learn so much every day from my colleagues. It's great. Cool. So we've got the tools. So we should be able to do realm CLI. There we go. So obviously it's coming back to say, hey, we don't understand what you just asked us to do. Here's some like the parameters that you might want, command arguments, rather, that you might want to pass to it. But yeah, there you go. We have the CLI installed. Woohoo! First win of the evening. Yeehaw. Cool. So we have. Okay, there we go. So we know that works. I didn't do dash version, but we proved it works. So now we need to add an API key to our Atlas project and log in. Okay. Hey, Christina's here. Woo! How are you feeling? Are you feeling better now? So, Rustica's part of a really cool podcast called Nintendo Dispatch, where they talk all things Nintendo. But what's also cool is that they also stream on the Nintendo Dispatch Twitch stream, normally at the weekends. Like evening time in the UK and afternoon on the East Coast. But yeah, always really fun, relaxing content. I think recently there's been, what have we had? BioShock, Stardew Valley, Subnautica, Stardew Valley, BioShock, some other stuff. Oh, you don't need to thank me for the shout out. This is what community is about, isn't it? Is that the people who turn up into your chat are people that you know and like and call your friends. And so what better way to use a platform like the internet than to shout about all the great people that we know. Cool, so now we need a way to authenticate using the CLI. Okay, and you can only log in using a programmatic API key. Okay, this might be where a secret screen is coming out. Ooh, nice. BioShock Infinite, yeah. Okay, so click Access Manager at the top. I think this might be, yeah, we're gonna secrets this just because I'm worried what it's gonna reveal, but just trust me, I'll be back. So it says at the top of the Atlas UI, which is the Atlas tab that we were on, navigate to the API keys tab. Is that database access? Nope. Advanced. Oop. What am I missing? Okay, let's come out of secrets for a minute while we try and work this out. So, click Access Manager at the top of the Atlas UI. Okay. Oh, it's in the project. Okay. See, this is what I need to go back to the project level. Can we go back to it? Project settings. There we go. Okay, so that wasn't very clear, but for those of you that got confused like I did, if you're stuck on the cluster page and you can't find the Access Manager, let me zoom in a bit. If you click these three dots up here next to your project name, you've got project settings, and it'll take you to this page where you can access it. So now I'm going to go to secret screen. So click Access Manager. You've done set project access options. There we go. API keys. So we need to create an API key. and it gives us a description to type in, which is API key for the MongoDB Realm CLI. Then it says, in the project permissions drop-down, select project owner and deselect project read only. So we're going to take our secret screen in a minute so you can see. So still no secrets yet. So we've entered our description in. Now we're going to click project owner and deselect project read only. Okay. Now we secret screen this. So we click next. So do you want to copy the private key or the public key? Copy your public API key, okay? Copied. Click done. Okay. Yeah, these instructions are out of date. So I'm going to make a note on a post-it tomorrow to see how we update that. So let me just save my API key somewhere super secret and safe, and then I'll unsecret and I'll explain what I want to fix. Look into fixing at work tomorrow. So we're going to copy public. Copy private. Click done. Minimize that. Hey, thanks Halifax. That's amazing. Hearts for you. Where's our emotes? Hearts. Hearts for you. Greatly appreciated. Yes. Unfortunately, treasured members of our community have gone through some awful crap with toxicity on stream, and, you know, comments that are just uncalled for and the usual nonsense. So Safeline is a UK charity which is to help you know, victims of like sexual violence and abuse. And so I made a promise at the start of the year to donate all proceeds from stream, whether it's bits subs or whatever, straight to Safeline. So yeah, what I was saying I want to look at setting up fixing at work tomorrow is this tutorial, because it's said to well, for starters, I feel like to get to there from your once you've got the cluster created, it leaves you on this screen, and as you can see, there's no way to get to it. So I think better instructions need to be added, that you also need to go back to the project to get to the access manager. And also here it says copy your public key, click next, copy your private key and click next. But actually they all appear in one screen, so there's just been some UI changes that need reflecting in this doc. So I'm going to make a note tomorrow. Trusty pen. Welcome Tower of Vengeance. Nice to see you. But yes, with my trusty pen I'm going to make a good old-fashioned manual post-it to does it work with green screen? Kind of, but not really. Yeah, I'm going to make a mental note tomorrow to not mental note, real note, post-it note to fix that. So nope. Pen doesn't work. See, in my desk I should have another pen. No, let's not do that. That's going to mess up my green screen. 2 seconds. There we go. I have a MongoDB pen that we're going to use to make this note. And one just covered more post-its and pixels. Yeah, normally I use stuff like Notion, but just because I'm in the middle of a stream, I'm just going to make a note. But yeah, this is a really nice MongoDB pen, but it's going to be backend task tracker key steps out of date. There we go. So I've made a note. And tomorrow I'll find out who to speak to fix that. I try to avoid doing post-its because I'm not a fan of wasting paper, but for this instance I just quickly write it and then we can work on it. Because this is one of the other reasons why I'm going through things like these tutorials. It's not just because I genuinely actually have a use for like Realm, because I want to add it to my EmojiPal app, but also, you know, now that I work on the inside, like, you know, I've got the ability and the power to make things better for people, and like, you know, these steps don't feel right to me, so I can do something about it, so I will. Why is there a... Why? I don't know. Anyway, we are here. So, saying, Tara Vengeance saying, what would be fair to hire someone to set up Discord bots, like payment-wise? Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I've never worked as a contractor or anything like that, so when it comes to how much to charge for something, I'm afraid I have no idea. Have a look on a website like Fiverr, because people advertise their services on there for all sorts. So you might find a service on there for Discord bots to give you an idea. Okay, so now I need to copy this. I'm going to just do this, as I said, over to one side. Somewhere secret. So this is our public key. And this is our private key. So we can copy all this. And we're gonna come back, we're gonna make this super secret again. Because, yeah, it's easy enough to, like, a lot of the time it's easy enough to recycle API keys, but it's good to get in the habit of not revealing all your secrets. Nice, so we successfully logged in, so I'm going to clear that off so that we can take secrets off. There we go. Yeah, that worked. It did say that. You just have to take my word for it. I don't want to dox myself. Nice, so we've also got tips here. Now we need to use the CLI to create a new task tracker backend Realm app. Nice. So now we're getting into the juicy part. Okay, we need to download this repo. So we're going to well, that's old. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to, not old-fashioned, we're going to do it the modern way, which is repo clone. What is it? Do you know what? We'll just do it like this, because it's easier. But yeah, there are easier ways of doing it. But anyway, yes. Paste. So. Ah. I miss Mac shortcuts like Control A, like literally Control on a Mac keyboard takes you to the start of the line. So this is going to download the Realm tutorial from the Mongo University GitHub repo. With not repo, GitHub MongoDB University account. If you don't know MongoDB University, you really should. It's free. It's interactive. I've been using it as part of my new high technical training onboarding, and there's just some awesome stuff on there. Like a bit like if you know Microsoft Learn, it's a bit like that where there's like in-browser ID. There's an in-browser ID and stuff, and you set up a free cluster, and not as one of the first steps you can do in like the first most basic class. So you end up with like, yeah, you can do all the learning in the browser without having to, if you don't want to, download the tools yourself. So it's a really great learning resource, and they got learning paths if you want to like go down a specific route and stuff. It's great. I didn't know about it until recently, but as a big fan of Microsoft Learn and the fact it reminds me of it, I'm a big fan of university as well. And no, this isn't a work stream in any way, shape or form, but I'm still going to talk about things that I like. So we've done that. So we've cloned it. So we need to move into it. So what have we got in here? So we've got lots of things. You've got the config, you've got a readme. What does the readme say? Install it, we've done that. Create an Atlas cluster, we've done that. Create an API key, we've done that. Import the Realm backend app. Oh, okay, so this might be the next steps it gets us to do. But anyway, we'll clear that off. So, we've done that. Run the import command. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be realm-cli import. Realm-cli import. So what that should do, I think, is, we'll find out, I guess, is spot a file in our, in the folder that we're in, which it will know what to do with. Let's see if it says in the text. So, okay, yeah. There we go. So, hey, Dr. Padawan, welcome in, welcome in. Enjoy your dinner, UK Mad Elves. Okay, so, it doesn't exist yet. Do you want to create it? Yes, please. Learning is going swimmingly, thank you. We've created our first cluster in the Atlas, which is MongoDB's cloud service. We've downloaded the Realm CLI tool so that we can do things in the command line like this. And now we're just following the tutorial, so we want to call it Task Tracker. Okay, so, yes. Task Tracker, Variable Projects, Project, Atlas Project. Okay, so it wants us to use a default for everything. So, we've got the, we're going to call the Atlas Project Task Tracker. Yeah, Virginia's okay. Global deployment. Cool, so it's created the new app. Look at all this stuff it's doing for us. Sweet. So what else have we got? Nice. As you see, app will contain the app ID of your new Realm app. So we've got to wait for it to say successfully imported. Nice. Okay, then it says to note down that value when it comes back. So, let's see. Done. There we go. Woohoo! So we have this, which it says we need to save for later. So, nope, there we go. Apparently I can't point with the mouse anymore. So, we're gonna do another notepad app. We'll just do it in here. So I'm just pasting that ID in that we'll need for later. Beautiful. So far so good, friends. So we've done that. You can also confirm the app was created by navigating to Realm tab. Let's do it. So I said about the Realm tab before, didn't I? So we go to Realm. What we're going to see. There we go, we've got Task Tracker. Nice! And that's linked to a Realm app. It's loading the data. There you go, it's linked to the Task Tracker Realm app. Woohoo! That's time for another yeehaw. Yeehaw! Woo! Beautiful. So, we haven't done anything with it yet, but it's all set up, which is beautiful. Minus the horrible... Why is it so... Settings. Appearance. System default theme. Quite like Moonlight Glow, actually. Something's messing with it. I don't know what, though. Anyway, yeah, so we have our Realm app going, so that's cool. Didn't take long. Then we've got to verify the Task Tracker backend is properly configured. Okay, so we've successfully created our application. Now we need to explore the provided configuration. You can access your app by navigating to the Realm tab and Atlas UI. Yep, so that's what we were in here. We've got the requests and everything. Oh, no, he knows. Okay, right. What is going on with this? I don't know. Something's making the colours weird. I just don't know what it is right now. Okay, so we can view the configuration. We can take a look at all the configuration uploaded from the JSON from that GitHub repo. Okay. So we can have a look at the schema. We can do that. Where's schema? Here. There we go. So by default, let's zoom in on this. We have a task. So if you've not seen MongoDB schema, like MongoDB stuff before, essentially it uses BSON, which is like, they call it binary JSON, sort of, but that's kind of simplifying it. But essentially it's JSON, but with quite a few more supported data types. So here it's just saying that it's each task is an object. Then it has a each of them has an ID, which is an object ID, so it's almost like a GUID. If you don't supply an underscore ID, it will auto generate you one. So it's a bit like, it's not a primary key, but it's a bit like a primary key from SQL. So it's just a task and it's got a name and a status. You've got name, owner, and status of type string. And we've got users as well. So the schema for a user is that they've just got a name. So fairly straightforward. It will all make a bit more sense when we start to actually use it, but it's just cool to know that you have got the ability to poke through these things in the UI should you choose to. Yeah, so it's saying it displays information about the structure of the data stored in our linked atlas cluster. Yep. Task and user, yeah, we'll look through them. Yeah, so MongoDB's document model normally allows us to store data in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, but Realm Database and Realm Sync require it to follow a set schema. So you do actually, because one of the powerful things about MongoDB's document model is that you can define the document in any shape or size that you want, and you can even change it dynamically on the fly. Like, you know, it's not like SQL where you'd have to, like, it would break a load of things. You can just change the shape as you go or add new fields in, and, you know, it's very powerful. But yeah, so in this case with Realm, you don't quite have that flexibility, but then it comes with so many other benefits that make it worthwhile. So we've also got authentication. So in the authentication providers tab, okay. Authentication. What is going on with my... This is annoying me now. Let's remove. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Well, access Instapaper, they're alright. Twitch username, apps. Remove. What the? I'm just gonna stick it on light theme and be done with it. Still weird. It's gonna annoy me. To Firefox we go. I don't mind that the instructions look funny because they're just instructions, but I don't like that my browser on this computer is funky for the UI. Because there's funky and then there's like shadows on text and weird nonsense. Can we like reset? Is there an update? Who knows? See, it's all well and good, all this power that we have to choose what our pages look like, but it annoys me when things then go funky and you can't explain it. Oh, there we go. Being slow now. What is the world coming to, eh? Can like, ooh, no. Thinking about it. Anyway, okay, so it was what? Okay, so there's authentication providers. Find information about the different ways that users can log in. And in provided task tracker configurations, users can only log in with email/password, which lets users define an email username and a secret password known only to them to access their account. Cool. So that's like, you know, sometimes, you know, apps will introduce you to stuff like MSAL, Microsoft Authentication Language. So that's what gives you the ability to log in with like Microsoft account or whatever, or you can do like Facebook and Google and all that stuff. But this is obviously just giving us, you know, a very unique to this. There you go. So everything is off bar email password. Hey, good luck. Enjoy work, Rustica. Thanks for stopping by. So, we've got different ways of logging in. We can click it and we can have a look at the configuration. So it automatically confirms users and runs a password reset. So users can log in immediately after creating an account. Yeah. Yeah, so in production you might want to choose to send an email to confirm first, but that's okay. And then we've run a password reset function, but reset func doesn't actually implement any logic, it always fails. For a production application, you want to implement a function that actually resets a user's password if they forget. Fair enough. This is only a tutorial, it's never going to be production ready. In the sync section, you'll find information about Realm Sync, which synchronizes data between client devices and your MongoDB Atlas cluster. To enable sync, we've defined a partition key, which sorts the data in Atlas into multiple realms. Okay. Let's go to sync. I know, I'm the worst. But I'm a Microsoft MVP. Part of me feels like I should use Edgium. Or New Edge, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry that you're sad, Max. Max, was your water skiing really? Oh, hate technology. Was your water skiing conference at the weekend, or is that coming up? I don't know why I'm buffering. It's green. So 3% drop frames, but that's not too bad. We'll persevere, but we'll keep an eye on it because I'm not quite sure what I can do about it. But fingers crossed it'll sort itself out. We've chosen an easy to understand name for our partition key _partition. Okay. There you go. So we've got _partition. Ah, okay. 2nd of July. Nice. But yeah, how cool is that? A water skiing conference. That's sweet. Wish I could go. I don't know how to water ski, but I know how to stand up paddleboard and kayak. I've not changed anything on my internet, so I hope the buffering stops soon. I hope it goes well though, whenever it is. Well, obviously I know when it is, 2nd of July, but I hope it goes well. Okay, so that's all set up. Oh, nice. Nice in the south of France. Cool. Oh, that would make sense if it's Riviera Dev. Because Nice and stuff is like the French Riviera. Okay, so each user can have an associated custom data object. We designed this app to use data stored in the user's custom data to determine permissions. That is, whether that user can read or write given realm or set of data such as a project. While Realm allows clients to read and write data depending on how you configure your app permissions, we configured this app so that only system functions running on the back end can modify a user's custom data object. This prevents clients from arbitrarily granting themselves permissions. Nice. Okay, so if we have a look here at... is that under defined permissions? User data and permissions. Yeah. So read and write. Yep. Right, we're not going to terminate the sync or anything that dramatic. See what else we get. So we've got the cluster. Yep, cool. Nice. So now we've got functions that we saw a second ago, so we can go back to functions. Oh, nice, sweet. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think it just has a wobble sometimes. Okay, so we got the function section contains the task tracker apps executable backend logic. See, I was saying to some of my colleagues yesterday or today, I can't remember when it was, that I struggle with English sometimes and I'm fluent in it. So respect to anyone who English is not your first language and you still choose to talk, you know, use it for work every day. I don't know how you do it. I'm gonna put a hat on long enough to tip my hat to you. Yeah, if you've not been on my stream before, it's perfectly normal for me to just break out a hat. I even have a channel points redemption where you can get me to put a hat on. Oh, you do great. So we've got the task tracker apps executable backend logic, which is in the function section. There you go. So we've got all these functions that we can do. So we can add a team member, got permissions, we can create documents, we can get members, we can remove members, or we can reset. Hey Ian, woo! Welcome in, sir. Good day to you. So we can add a team member, we can determine whether or not a user can read or write. We can create a new user document, we can fetch members, we can remove them or reset. So, oh, but that's the unimplemented part. Cool, so we saw that before. We can even click on them to view the JavaScript. Well, that's clever. So say add team member. Nice, so here we go. So not that I'm any JavaScript expert, but there we go. So we've got a function, an asynchronous function that takes in an email. It gets our service that we call MongoDB Atlas, the database called Tracker, and the user collection. And then it's filtering on name and email. Then you find one based on the filter. So it's basically just checking that they don't exist already. So yeah, it's essentially it's checking that the user exists. If they do exist, then add them in, and if not, error. So nice, there we go. So that's cool. You can even use the UI, so you don't even have to leave the browser to even have a look at this. And you can even write the code in here, I think. It says function editor, so I imagine that, yeah, you can run it. And I'm sure that this button changes if you put like, yeah, there you go. That changed to save draft, so you can even edit it all in the browser, so that's cool. See, I'm learning new stuff all the time as well, it's great. You can even run the function with test input, that's cool. Then we've got triggers. So you can see when, let's have a look. So on a new user, use the create new user document function based on so use email and password provider and call this function. Ooh. So we moved then. I was like, what? So in the triggers section, you'll find information about triggers, certain criteria that, when met, execute logic. So they're on your user. So you click on the trigger to see the details. It's just one purpose. When a new user creates an account, calls the create new user document function, which initializes the custom user data for that user. This provides the first data needed to create that user's personal project and allows them to start adding to-do tasks or even other users as project members. Woo! Nice. So there we go. What's next? So we've just built a functional task trapper application backend. So we've got all that stuff there to do stuff with users. You can create a user, you can remove them, you can do stuff with teams. So all those functions are there for us out of the box. So that's sweet. Yeehaw. So now we can follow one of the tutorials, which this is also missing the best one of all. So we have our back end. So now it's time to follow this. Let's do it. So we're able to create a multi-platform mobile application. Yes, we are. So we can, this is all the things that you should be able to do, but we've seen this already because this is what we saw for the back end. So we're on Windows. I do have that. I do have that. And I do have that. It's not connected right now because I'm have to tether to my phone, but we have, you know, prerequisites, big tick. And we set up the back end. Okay. So we need to clone the tutorial. We can do that. So let's go back into dev. Paste anyway. Yep, there we go. So we've done it, and now we're going to move into the folder. Nice. We're on the start branch, so we're not cheating with the content. We've done that. Explore the app structure. Well, the best way I know how to do that is to open it. So we should have a solution file. Yep. Solution. There we go. So this is going to open Visual Studio 2019, and we can start poking around what we get out of the box. Let's see, friends. But we're doing well. We've got the task tracker app going. We have the back end, so no matter what else happens, we know that we have the back end ready. So if anything blows up or the internet goes or whatever, we are onto a winner because we have the back end already. So it's just doing the first time load stuff, which always takes ages. Well, not quite as long as it takes an Android project to run, but that's Google's fault. Too much going on under the hood. Nice. So, out of the box, we get the shared tutorial app, which, what's it using? There you go. So it's on .NET Standard 2.0. So it's still on a modern architecture. Then we've got, we'll have a look at the shared code in a minute, but that's a shared project. Then you've got the platform level stuff, which isn't doing anything other than basically saying we're initializing Xamarin Forms, and then we're just saying that, hey, the new application is actually, rather than loading a Xamarin Android application at that level, we're actually sending it off to look at our app, which is in the shared project. But it's doing nothing other than that. It's literally just saying, hey, go and start it. Same for iOS. If you've ever done native development before, you'll see that the layout's the same, because for anyone watching who's not seen Xamarin before, it is a thin wrapper around the native SDKs and tooling for native mobile, watch, desktop, etc. development. So all it is, as I said, it's a very thin wrapper. So once you get below the surface of the C#, it's all the same build tools and build chains and stuff that you'd get if you built it natively. So if you've done native development before, this will look familiar. It's just the only difference is that rather than specifying at the platform level what the UIs look like and all of that stuff, all it's doing is going off and saying, actually, when you start, load a new application from my shared project. So each of these, again, will look like what you'd expect if you've done desktop ones before. This again will look familiar. It's just saying go off and initialize Xamarin Forms. UWP is more complicated, but yes. Just go off and do it the standard way. So we have our project here. So if we have a look what we've got. So the way it works is here we have the app. So when we saw it calling new app before, that's what it was calling. It was calling this class here. Ah, okay. We can hide the chat. Not a problem. Thanks for letting me know. Let's just hide that for now. There we go. Yeah, so basically, like, this is the more important stuff anyway. Let's just zoom out ever so slightly. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Come on. Alright, fine. Fine. But yeah, so we've got the stuff we've got to fill out, but this is the app that it was calling. So this is what does all the crazy stuff. So when you start the application, get the current user. If there isn't one, then load the login page. Otherwise, load the project page. So, you know, fairly straightforward stuff. And then we've got stuff like our realm app ID, which we know we've got from here. So we can go ahead and replace this. Because as you can see, we've got all the snazzy realm stuff happening. So it uses realm sync. So it creates a realm app called realm app. And that's what it's doing in here. So yeah, cool. And then you've got the actual pages. So we've got that login page that we talked about. So if we have a look, it's just a stack layout. So you've got the frame with the white text that says login. We can run it. See, let's go. Oh, it's upset about something. We might be jumping ahead of ourselves here, but I just wanted to run it so you can see what it looks like. Yeah. Why not? What are you upset about? Don't need to do that, do we? Ooh. What's with this? That's some forms, isn't it? Come on. Come on. Okay, we'll leave it as this. Okay, we won't run it just yet. There might be some instructions we need to follow. So it's saying, yeah, there you go. So this is just talking us through the project structure. So you perform all the steps in the shared project. Yep. That's what's powerful about Xamarin in this case. Xamarin Forms, which is like Xamarin but with the shared UI as well, is that you write it once in the shared project, and then when it's built, as I said, it uses the native build tools and stuff. So it will automatically have the native look and feel on the platforms that you run it on. But you've only written the code once, which is what makes it super powerful. So that's cool. So we need complete the onStart method, okay? OnStart. Right, not that one. OnStart, there we go. So it's saying that we need to do that bit. And we've got our app ID because that's what we've filled out up here. So now that's actually going to create the realm app so that it exists when it then wants to start doing things with it. Cool, so now we have, as I said, we have the object that we can use elsewhere. Nice. Now we need to implement the auth provider. So we need to go to login page. So if you've not seen Xamarin projects or Xamarin Forms projects before, the way it works is you can either define the UIs with C# code or with XAML, which is a Xamarin Forms dialect, different to UWP if you've done that before. But it's just, again, it's still very instinctive. You know, you've got entry is exactly what you'd imagine it to be, which is where you can type stuff. A button is what you click, and it's saying when you click it, call this function. But for each XAML page that you create, you have what's called a code behind, which is a page which is embedded as part of it because it's a partial class, which is the same .xaml but with .xaml.cs extension. So in this case, we've got our login page, we've got the email and password, and it's saying when we click the login button, do the login, then do the login is we've got to pass the email and password properties. So this is what it's asking us to start doing. So this is just a standard you know, C# method and stuff. So even though Xamarin is its own mobile tooling and framework, it really is just .NET under the hood, and you know, it's using .NET languages. It supports F# as well as C#. So if you've written C# before but not Xamarin, it's still very instinctive because it's just C# code really. So in the do login method, call login async, passing the credentials that the user entered. Okay. And if that works, then you're a valid user. So at the moment it's saying, hey, I don't know what user is, but we've done that now. So it's saying it's async because we don't want it to block the UI thread while it goes off and tries to log you in. So we're saying login asynchronously, passing the using the email password credentials, and they are the email password that we defined above. Beautiful stuff. So we've done that. So now we need to implement the user registration functionality in register user. So by calling the in the register user, by calling the register user async method, on success you then call do login. Okay, so we want the register user. So that's do login. But then we've also got register user. So the first thing we do is say call register user async. Okay. So we're saying that we want to use email password authentication, register the user with the email and password, and then once that's done, log them in. Nice. There we go. Oh, there we go. So now we have a models folder where we can see the schema. So we have a task like we saw before. So it's got a underscore ID, it's got an owner, it's got a name, and it's got status. Nice. If we see user as well, again, it's got an ID, a partition, a list of projects, and a name. So, you know, this is very much a realm object because C# is a object-oriented language. But this is very much a yeah, kind of a C# model implementation object class. That's an object implementation of that schema that you would have seen on the UI. So it's nice to kind of see how you can then map those together. So you've got the schema in the UI, but this is how you then turn it into an object that you can use in your C# code. Yeah, so we talked about that. So a user has an array of projects which is a member of. Each project has a name and a partition, and each task has a name stated in a list of projects which it's part of. Okay. So now that we've authenticated the user, the app must access the list of projects in which the user is a member. Okay. To do this, we'll first connect to the user realm, get the user object, and then display each of the projects listed in the user's member of. Okay. So we've got project page.xaml.cs. So if we have a look, we have just quickly do configuration manager. Don't build UWP because that was what was blown up before. So if we run this quickly, it might not build because it might be waiting for code, but we might be able to see the UI. Yeah, no, we can't do that yet. But yeah, okay, so we're done with the login page, but now we've got the project page. So that is a stack layout. Just set some layout options, a background color, an activity indicator, and then we've got another stack layout. So by default, stack is vertically stacked. Then inside of that, we've got a grid. And then we've got the text. So we've got column headings and buttons and whatnot. So that's cool. There's a few things about this that could be updated, but that's not for stream. That's just for technically I could put it on my to-do list outside of work because it's not my day job to yeah, I suppose it kind of is. But I have amazing articles to read and write. It's great. But yes, we've got a project page. Again, we've got this partial class because it's a XAML file. We have the C# code behind. So we've got the user realm that's never used, which is what we're going to define. So it's probably going to be, here we go. So we have to put it in here. So in the on appearing, we check to see if it's authenticated. If not, we will redirect them to login. Yep. If we do, or when controllers return from the login page, we can then instantiate a sync configuration and pass that to get instance so that we can get the user's custom realm. Because, you know, basically the realm is your own set of stuff. So this is just a way of sort of partitioning off your projects and to-do lists from other people's. So that's just setting stuff up. To implement this, we find the on appearing. You see the conditional check to see if you already have an authenticated user. In the else block, instantiate the user realm. Okay. So it was in on appearing in the else block. On appearing method, yeah, and then the else block. Ah, I cannot. Okay. So we've got that. So in the else block, we instantiate the user realm by creating a sync configuration. Okay. But we don't have a sync configuration yet. So where's that coming from? I feel like this is moved. Yeah, there we go. This is moved around. I thought so. This tutorial is slightly outdated. So we call load projects, and then in load projects, we do that. So it goes down here. Yeah, it's just confusing instructions. So there we go. We've now created that user realm object with that sync config that it fetched. Yeah, it's not in on appearing anymore. I don't know how many people follow this tutorial, but I don't like the fact that it's not right. There we go. Another trusty post-it note for things to fix tomorrow. There we go. So we've done that, and then we find the user from the user realm that matches their ID. Okay. There we go. So now the user is going to be that user based on their current user ID. And then we can use that to do some checks. Nice. So once you have the user, call setup project list. Now where does it do setup project list? Oh, there we go. Setup project list. Nice. in that so then we have a look at setup project list. There we go. So it clears the projects, so it clears the list and then just repopulates it. That's quite a common common step when you've got lists in Xamarin, is that when you set up the project list, you know, when you're like populating it, you just make sure it's empty first and there's no like leftover cache from previously that gets all mixed up. So you clear the list, and then you set the source to be the projects. So the list projects is the list view in the page. My projects is a C# type called observable collection. Then it's saying if the user's null or they're not a member of anything, then you create a new project. Hey, Unicorn Bits from Social Steve. Thanks, Steve. And then for each project that they're a member of, you add that to the projects list. If they're not a member of any projects, then no projects found. Cool. And then when they touch one of the projects in the list, we pass controls. So that is being done from... Here we go. When you tap... we've got log out. There we go. So when you tap a text cell, so that will be on the list of the projects, you then move to a task page. Now we'll implement the task page. So we've got the task page code behind. Beautiful stuff. So we're going to save this. We're going to close everything. And we're going to go to task page. There we go. So now we're in the task page and in the on appearing. But again, this is calling a... Oh no, it's actually doing it in here. So we need to instantiate the task realm. So task realm equals... going to be... app.realm app. No, okay. I was just thinking if I could work it out, but there's no point. We have a code to copy and paste here. Oh, it's just realm dot. Okay, so we get task realm. Nice. So then once we get the task realm back, we can do more with it, I guess. I know we call setup task list. Okay. Then in setup task list, we make the layout to say that we're waiting for tasks visible. So that's basically just like a, hey, we're loading something right now. Please wait a minute. So it finds all the tasks. We find all the tasks because we configured our task realm to use a partition specific to the user, removing the need to filter by owner. So yeah, essentially we've previously filtered it all to only be the tasks for the user. So we don't need to worry about any more filtering at this point. Just getting all tasks will only return all the tasks for the user anyway. Beautiful. So that's a nice little neat transition there. So now we've found all the got all the tasks. We've done that. Yep. So at the bottom of the task view, we now have added a button for creating a new task. So in the button clicked handler, we display a modal dialog to get the name of the new task and then create a new task, setting its status to open. Okay. So do we need to put that in? I guess so. Oh, there you go. So we've got button click. There we go. So we need to create that new task. So what we're saying here is that we're going to create an object called new task. It's going to be a task like that we've already created from our model over here. Then we're going to set some details, set its status automatically to open, then attempt to write it. So we add that new task and then add it to the list of tasks. So here we're adding it to our tasks in the database, and here we're adding it to the tasks on the UI. Yeah, so you must add it in it, right? Wrap it in a transaction. So then that's what write is for. Cool. It just creates a temporary transaction. Then the final task-related work is providing a way for the user to edit a task, including changing its state. Within our UI, when a user taps on the task in the list, the task edit page displays. The logic here is similar to creating a task where the updated information is wrapped in a temporary transaction. To view this code, find the Save button clicked in Edit Task page. Okay. So in the constructor, we pass in the realm and the task. We just set them to assign them to local variables. And then we do some stuff to do with the text, the index. So if it's open, it's 0. If it's in progress, it's 1. But then here we go. We've got stuff here, and then we've got the save. So yeah, it's doing this wrapping it in a transaction again. It's setting the name to the new name. It's setting the status to the new status. Then it's calling operation completed. Then popping, so it's taking it off the stack. So it's essentially saying, right, I'm done with this page now, so let's get rid of it and go back. Then we're disposing of the realm object because obviously we don't need it anymore. Beautiful stuff. Now we need to implement team management. So a user can add other users to their team, which allows them to view, edit and delete tasks on the user's projects. So, you know, this is becoming much more team friendly. Take it from someone who's joined a great team. You just can't beat being part of a team. So we need to find the add member page.xaml.cs file. Add member page, there we go. So we've got a list of team members, but it's not being used, so that's why it's green. So I'm guessing that somewhere down here we're going to have some code. Yep, there we go. So we don't define team members yet, so there's going to be some code that we're going to add in, which is going to be, I guess it's going to be team members equals realm. Realm app dot get. Okay. One of these days I'll be able to work this out automatically, but let's just follow the instructions for now. Oh, current user.functions.call, I think. I wouldn't have known that. Okay. So we'll paste this in and then we'll have a look what it's doing. So it's calling the get my team members function. So if we go back to our UI that we were looking at before and go to functions, there we go. There is a get my team members function. So again, this is a nice, beautiful kind of moment where you can mentally see the link between what we've got in the UI and the functions that are created for us and what we're doing locally. So let's just shrink this again. So what this is doing is it's saying for the current user, for their functions, call one called get my team members, but it's going to return a list of users. And then it's saying, right, for every member that we get back in that list, add them to the list of members. Then update the list, the UI list. So this is your local list of data, and then this is your actual UI list. But again, we've got a bit of error handling because that's always important. So the UI provides 2 buttons for team management, add a member and just so we've got add member and delete. So we've got add button clicked. So again, we can copy some code and have a look what it's doing. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do this. So we've got delete clicked, add button clicked. There we go. So we want to do this stuff in here. So the function result, we're calling the add team member and we get a result back that we're wrapping in a function result class, which based on the namespace realm.net tutorial.function result, it's something that we defined. Guess down here. Yes, there you go. There's our class. So we get back a function result which is either going to be error, matched count, or modified count. And what have we got? Let's have a look. We've done that. So that, yeah, so where you spare modal, prompting the user to provide the email. When the user clicks OK, we call add team member function on the back end. Then you've got delete buttons. That's going to do similar. It's going to call the remove team member function, passing it the email as a string. And we'll get back a result. So if we paste this, IntelliSense should tell us what result we get back. So that's on appearing. Delete button click, there we go. So result is a result of a beaten value type. And it turns the result into a string, and it's just saying it's going to pop up a box with the title remove user, an OK button to dismiss the box, and it will also give you the result. So it's either a success or it went horribly wrong. Sure, it was a success. Okay, so we've completed it. Now we can run it and check the functionality. Okay, but can we? We're gonna rebuild it first before we click run. Let's see what happens. Is it going to build, friends? Place your bets. I don't usually build Mac, it's fine. Well, I suppose I tried to build a solution at the project, didn't I? So it'll try all three. That's fine. If I wasn't tethering, I could connect to my Mac and cool, rebuild succeeded. Woohoo! Yeehaw! Now let's run it on a here's what I prepared earlier Android simulator. This may or may not work. The reason I say it may not is depending on how recently this app was updated in the code. It may be targeting a Android version prior to the version of this simulator. Sorry, that's an iOS term. Emulator. But that's an easy fix. Let's have a look. Oh, it's running, it's running, it's running. Hot reloads initializing, which I'll show you in a second. Look at that! We have a task tracker app. Woohoo! However, I don't think that a Mongo app should have a blue background, so I'm going to show you the power of XAML Hot Reload. So you can see here, there's no styling applied. So we have, it just looks like an standard Android app. It's cool. Yeah, easy, exactly. Activate easy mode. So if we go back to here, and we are going to do, was it Windows key Shift C? There we go. We're going to steal Mongo Green. So I can move this over a bit. So I've got Windows Power Tools and Power Toy Tools or something installed. It comes with a color picker. So I'm going to show you the amazing power of Hot Reload. So to those of you that are used to web development, this won't be very shiny to you, but take it from someone who's been doing Xamarin development for like 6 years. This is super exciting that this is a thing now. If we go into our login page, let's move this over here. So if we go to loginpage.xaml, here you see we have our background color. If we change this to that, get rid of the hash and click save, boom, the button's gone green. Woohoo! But then we've also got the navigation, so we can also do like cool stuff like could do content page. It's pretty slick, isn't it? I can't remember how you do ditch titles, but yes. But yeah, we've changed it to that. We can do more stuff with the layout. So we could, like, to me, this needs a bit of spacing. So padding, so maybe 5 pixels. Space, boom, there we go. A bit of spacing. But then maybe we think, oh, actually, you know, we want to do other things with it. So I don't like that these are grayed out because they're legit buttons. So we can change these to have a style applied to them. So we can say, right, we'll undo this change because, not that one. It would have been faster to just delete this. Right, so we'll leave this as the same color because it's a title. But then here we will say that, for example, the buttons, this, I prefer to put things on a new line, but anyway, we can say, for example, that the background color is that. Save it. There you go. Login is now a nice green. We can maybe say that create new account is going to be background color. We'll make it so good. It's a good create new account. Well, maybe a form of orange. We'll just do my orange. FFA03A. There we go. So automatically, you know, we're instantly getting feedback by just changing the colors, and it's super quick as well. Like, I'd argue that was probably quicker than a website refresh. Not trying to start website versus mobile flame wars here, friends, but I do like how super easy it is. So this is one stack layout, but I think that this slot needs to be in its own stack layout. And you'll see why in a minute. So this will look no different, but it means that we've got the ability to make it look a bit better. Yeah, no, not padding. There we go. So we've just got a bit of a theme. So yeah, we've just got a little bit of spacing around the items. But if we try margin rather than padding, you can see the difference it makes. Not a lot, but sometimes it matters. But yeah, I already think that looks way better. But yeah, and now we can do create a new account. Oh yeah, see? Wow, that could look better. But anyway, yeah. You can see that we've got registration failed, so let's do an email address. So there we go. That should create the account. And now can we there we go, boom. Now we've got that spinning thing and we've got my project. Boom, there we go. See, manage my team. We can add people. We can... Who wants to join my fake team? I can add myself. Okay, see, I don't exist. Nice. We've got my project. We've got any tasks in it? Not yet. It's a dodgy image. Enter the task name. Winning at Realm. Well, that's not open anymore. That is complete because we have one at Realm. Woohoo! Whoa, the app crashed. Wait, the app crashed? Okay, so my project. Cool. You just minimize. So there we go. Like, you know, the UI is not great on this, but it's not intended to be. It's just supposed to be very basic, out of the box. You know, you've got something to work with. So we were able to very easily fiddle around with it and make it look better. But we have a functioning app. You know, we've got tasks. We've got, if we log out, for example, and then create a new account for me. Create a new account and log in, we won't see those tasks. So we have my tasks, but I don't have any tasks because I didn't create any. And if we go into our... Where's Atlas? There you go. So we've got a task tracker. If we can actually use the Atlas UI here, which is what this is called, to poke around. So there you go. Look at that. This work of art. There we go. In my tracker tasks, we have winning at Realm complete. And we set that up from the mobile app, not from the web UI. So there we go. Beautifully out of the box, we have one connected Realm app. Yeehaw. And that is how you win at Realm, my friends. You follow an epic tutorial that needs a little bit of minor updating, but that's my job for tomorrow. So we can move this across. So I'm going to share this again for anyone that wants to do this themselves. But there you go, we've done it. So what's next? You can do all sorts of things. Hey, DevHub. I want to write on DevHub. Look at this. So for those of you that don't know, DevHub is what we call developer.mongodb.com. And essentially we've got like learning things you can learn. There's a university, there's videos, there's podcasts, but there's also how-tos and articles. Woohoo! So there's all sorts of stuff here on Realm, which you can filter by products, you can filter by language. So if we do Realm, C#, we've got getting started with Realm for Unity. I was reading this earlier, I think Nick wrote this. Yes. Yeah, there's all these cool things that you can do. But look what's missing, friends. There isn't any Xamarin stuff on here. So my plan is to get Realm into Emotipal. So let's load Emotipal and I'll show you what it is. So let's start running this. We can call this great success. Pat ourselves on the back. There we go. So, Emotipal is my Xamarin and Microsoft Cognitive Services app. So, I wrote it kind of partly for me, partly as a demo, but it's now kind of actually becoming a real thing. And the idea is that you can analyze sentiment in text or emotion in faces. But at the moment, you load it and it's just a standalone app. It's a single session, as soon as you close it, that's it. I want to bring in... I want to bring in MongoDB Realm to this with login stuff. And so you can then view your history of what photos you looked at and, what sentiment stuff that you've looked at in the history. So if we just run this quickly, we can see how it looks. There we go. So this is the home page. There's still, the UI needs work and stuff, like the theme doesn't carry across to like these pages. And like this needs to be smaller and all that. So there's loads of stuff to do, but we can enter text to analyze. So we can say Realm is the best database for mobile. Analyze the sentiment, see what it says. Boom, there we go. It's come back instantly. It's gone up to the cloud, come back and said that we think that this text is something positive. But of course we've got the issue that as soon as we press the button, the text clears, which makes sense because the next time you want to analyze something, you don't want to have to delete all the text first. But then it means that, if you've got any kind of neurodivergent conditions, that mean that not only do you want to use an app like this, but you maybe don't have a great short-term memory, it's like, well, I've got this result back, but what was it for? So yeah, the plan is to add Realm stuff into this, which is super exciting. So now we know how to do it. We've got our nice task app to refer to. But that's cool. But that is an exercise for another day, because it is, what temperature is it? It's 32.8 degrees Celsius or 90.86 Fahrenheit according to my IoT device with temperature sensors built in. It's a little warm in here, so we're going to call this a great success. We're going to find a friend of the community that we can go and raid and show our support to. And now we know that Realm is awesome for mobile too, and we can go ahead and start to get excited for what we can possibly do on stream. So I should be back on Saturday morning. So for Saturday morning stream, we can maybe consider starting to look at this if I don't get overexcited and do it before then. But yeah, we can start to look at how to actually implement it. So for anyone interested in reading articles by my wonderful colleagues, that is the filter that we just had open. Who can we go and raid? Anyone got any suggestions? I don't know who's live right now. I've been too busy having fun to see who's live. Oh, Ghosty... Oh, he's playing Binding of Isaac. Ghosty Tune is great, but he's playing Binding of Isaac. So we could raid CM Griffin. He's always good fun. I could do Where is X? What's Where is X up to? I have to wait for an ad to end. But Where is X is we've been starting a project. Well, I say we. White Panther's been doing a project recently called Women Who Stream.tech, where we're trying to highlight more.
Hey, wrong tab.
Okay, so what's going on? Stupid adverts. But yeah, when this advert ends, we can see what they're up to. But yeah, White Panther's been doing a great project with creating a list of. We can see it.
Wrong tab. Wrong tab.
White. Let's just mute this a sec.
Not looking.
But yeah, it's it is Women Who Stream.tech. So it's a work in progress at the moment, so please excuse the images. But essentially, it is a list of amazing female identifying. Look, there's me. Streamers. The plan is eventually, as you know, have the pictures and there'll be you can click on it and watch them if they're live and stuff. But I had the pleasure earlier of doing the admin on this and adding a load of new people. And if we find it, Where is X is on here somewhere. There we go. So they're a member of this. So they're a perfect person to go and stream. So we are going to stream them. We're going to show our support as always. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Thank you to my lovely colleagues who watched for the first time. It's going to be fun to do some cool stuff with Realm. I'm hoping that I can, you know, we can take Realm into Motopal and do some really cool things with it. But yes, for now we're going to go raid Where is X. Come join me on Saturday maybe, or in the future, and watch what's going on with this. But for now, it's been warm, it's been fun, it's been productive. We won at Realm though, friends. We did it. So have a wonderful week, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you all soon.